The world hasn't ended yet, but I still don't feel fine. Do. I hope you got a deck of cards, Internet, because it is a slow news week, and you know what that means. It means you get to watch me comb the dregs of the Internet to try to cook up some juicy news stories. Let's see what we have here. A woman gets decapitated by a sword in a gun-free zone. Who's gonna fucking care about that? It's her fault that she was walking around in a gun-free zone when she should have known that swords existed for that very reason. Credit card companies are now going to create a database of private gun and ammunition sales from law-abiding citizens. Well, that's not news either. Private companies are allowed to do whatever the hell they want just so long as it protects our democracy. The American government is stealing 80% of Syria's oil while selling our emergency reserves to China. Oh, that just seems like business as usual. Oh, here's a promising story. Disney's remaking yet another IP for the sake of profit. The children's classic The Little Mermaid is being remade for a young audience, and this time they've put equity front and center. Look at this. Ariel's gonna be played by a black ginger. Well, that's just wonderful. I can't even begin to fathom the immense joy that the black and ginger community must be feeling at this reveal right now. The ginger community probably hasn't been this happy since 2003 when a Filipino boy had a chance to play Danny Partridge in the all but doomed to fail Partridge Family remake. I'm fed up with the discrimination on the Twitterverse because thanks to inventions like the SIM card, gingers are almost like regulars now. Just take a look at the facts. Fact: gingers all over the world are now capable of operating roller coaster controls under minimal supervision. Fact: there's some municipalities out there that are finally allowing gingers to use public restrooms at minimal charge. And if you ask me, the mandatory ginger outhouse tax of $3.62 per use is totally reasonable. Fact: gingers are showing some promise in the food service industry. I once heard a rumor about a diner out in Wyoming that hired a ginger as a part-time line cook, and word has it that it makes a chef's salad that is almost passable on most days. So be sure to say thank you to your local ginger. Gingers like Derek O'Shea. Just don't hug or kiss them. They're still unwashed, diseased, and questionably sticky. But let's face it, that's never gonna change. Ever. Okay, I may have been a little overzealous when I said nothing was happening. The queen has become a corpse, and I can actually work with that. Since the queen is officially worm chow, we can focus on reinforcing the patriarchy by putting a king's ass on that throne. And we got the biggest ass to cover for that chair, and a rather unique one. The Queen's dipshit son has the honor of being England's first king in almost a century to have a brother who lacks the ability to sweat. Now, this guy is British, so naturally he's a man of culture and class. But since he's British and a member of the monarchy, that also makes him inherently evil. And since he doesn't have the power to increase taxes on tea anymore, he's gonna do the next best thing.
World domination!
Long live the king, because the king has some great plans for your life. Now, there's many people out there who think that the British crown has no authority to run things on the planet, and they are 100% correct. They're just a group of unelected monarchs with ungodly amounts of money and influence who use their stashes of money cash to pay guards to not laugh at tourists and lecture us on how we're horrible people for being gigantic racisms. And because Meghan Markle has the racisms angle all sewn up, King Charles is free to pursue his dream of teaming up with some of the world's most powerful people and massive pedophiles to create a one-world government where he gets a say in what you do with your life.
In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model. I've come to realize that it is not a lack of capital that is holding us back, but rather the way in which we deploy it. Therefore, to move forward, we need nothing short of a paradigm shift.
And this idea is so fantastic that the White House showed their support by flying the British flag right there on the front lawn. Didn't America fight a long and bloody war against the British for independence? You know what? I'm remembering now. The American Revolution was racisms because there weren't enough blacks involved. My bad, guys. I don't mean to be a racist. I'll flog myself later. I mean, if we're being realistic here, there's not much more for me to talk about on this subject. There's really only so much one can say about the Queen's rotting meat sack, and I wish I had more to talk about. I mean, trust me, I've been combing the internet for like 20 minutes trying to find stuff, and all I can find is the same old shit over and over and over again. Food shortages, Europe on the verge of collapse, Russia turning off the gas to Germany, thus dooming them to a winter of sickness and death, draconian green energy policies that do nothing to thwart climate change, gargantuan protests in Canada, the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic, journalists being murdered by a disgraced public official in Las Vegas, power companies in Denver taking over smart thermostats of private citizens in order to thwart their rolling blackouts, China, Russia, and other countries banding together to create a new gold-backed currency to completely decimate the US dollar and take over the world economy. I mean, that shit is boring. Read a book. How the hell am I supposed to talk about the fucking King of England for an entire video? That shit's not interesting, so fuck you, King Charles III, and fuck your kingly bullshit. What is up, Mahonies? Arston the Unclean here. It would be ungentlemanly for me to not say thank you for checking out the new video, so thank you for checking out the new video. If you think the United Kingdom going back to monarchy rule is probably a bad idea, then say ahoy and sail away with us on the good ship known as Sanity. Give a click on that like or subscribe button if you're feeling ironic, and the comments section is a place where magical dreams come true. Today's subject is Venetian blinds. Once again, this episode was brought to you in part by both Derek O'Shea and Funky here. If it weren't for these magnificent bastards, I'd still be crawling around on the internet looking for content. So thank you, gentlemen, and as always, thank you all for caring, and I'll see you in the gulag.